Don't buy the Apple Watch Ultra. I've been using the Apple Watch Ultra for the last 4 years. Yes, Apple launched the Apple Watch Ultra in 2022. And I'm an avid fitness guy. I love the gym. I love working out. I love running. I love swimming. I love everything about sports. I love biking. And I don't think that the Apple Watch Ultra is worth it for most people. This watch is for the few. This watch is a very, very niche product, and it costs $800, guys. $800. While the base model Apple Watch costs $400. So there's a reason, in my opinion, you shouldn't buy the Apple Watch Ultra. For half the price, you can get the Apple Watch Series 11, which is a much better option for most people. It's smaller, thinner, lighter, and in my opinion, more practical than the big and bulky Apple Watch Ultra. This gives you better battery life, bigger display, and a much more durable body, but you don't need that if you are a normal person. Even if you want a more luxury experience, and if you consider buying the stainless steel Apple Watch, or even the other titanium option with the Series 11 or Series 12, whenever you're watching this video, it might have come out already, I don't think that even the newest generation of the Apple Watch Ultra is worth it, even though they cost the same. Because this device is too bulky. This is a very, very specific device for a very specific demographic, and I don't think it serves most people. And that was something that I realized lately, because although this has been my main watch, my main device, my main companion for the last 4 years, I found myself switching back to smaller Apple Watches. This is the Series 4, by the way. This is a very old and small Apple Watch, but I love it because it's thin, lightweight, and easy to carry around. While the Apple Watch Ultra, it isn't. It's bulky. It gets stuck on clothes. It gets stuck on your backpack whenever you are putting in. It gets stuck on your jacket, and that's a problem. So if in day-to-day life, you don't really care about the feature about the Apple Watch Ultra, which is extended battery life, 40-kilometer runs, 20-kilometer swims, I don't know, so that's crazy, but 100-kilometer bike rides, you don't need the Apple Watch Ultra. This is for the extreme. This is for the insane. Even the compass modes, even the GPS function, everything about this Apple Watch was made for the extreme. And you don't need that for everyday life. Because with those features come big compromises. The weight, the size, and the overall experience of living with it everyday life, it's not great. While for some, that's worth it because they sacrifice that for an incredible experience while using the Apple Watch in the wild, I don't think that most people need it. To go to the gym, to count your steps, to even answer your calls, get your notifications, the base model Apple Watch for $400 is the perfect sweet spot. You get an incredible OLED display, you get an incredible speaker system, you get an incredible heart rate monitor, you get blood oxygen levels, you get all the telemetries that the Apple Watch Ultra can provide, but you don't get that bulky body made of titanium and with a bigger display. This is a 49mm display. It's huge. You don't need that on your wrist. And let me tell you, I don't have small wrists, and the Apple Watch Ultra sits big on it. Like, this is big, really, really big. And the worst part is putting on your jackets, putting on your clothes. It's too much, and it gets stuck. It ruins your clothes, ruins your jackets, and it's kind of annoying whenever you are putting on other clothes, putting on your backpacks. So I would say that for everyday life, compounding effect, it's kind of very annoying. So I wouldn't buy the Apple Watch Ultra just for that if I went back. And the other fact is that this costs $800. So if you want to spend $800 on a watch, either you are buying a mechanical watch or you're not spending money wisely. Because $800 is too much for a watch that in 2 years, it's obsolete. It has been 4, and the Apple Watch Ultra that I've had is still insane. Still lasts me throughout the whole day, can track my sleep, but I don't think it's that ideal for that, because it's too big again. I think that the big problem about the Apple Watch Ultra, it's its big size. Because for everyday life, for what I need, I don't need an Apple Watch this big. I've loved using the Whoop band that I've used for like 1 month or so, because it's small, compact, but it doesn't have a display. What is the solution for that? The Apple Watch normal generation. Yes, the Apple Watch Series 11, it's perfect. It's insane. The OLED display is amazing and gives you everything that the Apple Watch Ultra does, but with a bit less battery life, but comes with a much smaller body. In my opinion, totally worth it. And if you want a better and more premium material, Apple Watch still got the titanium frames. And those are awesome. I love the ceramic Apple Watch from the past. I love the stainless steel ones, but I think that the titanium ones from these generations are awesome, and that's the ones that I would get. Obviously, you don't get all the insane features with the Apple Watch Ultra. This has truly incredible features, and this is truly an incredible watch for those that need it. The thing about the Apple Watch Ultra that it's so cool, and I forgot to talk about in this video, is the backtrack feature. Yes, because of the Apple Watch Ultra, if you are hiking, moving around, just like I am on these hikes around the forest, this is a really cool feature because I don't know the way back to the car. There's no signs here. This is pure forest. And if you want to go back, you have to find a way to record your way back. So the Apple Watch Ultra right here on its record back feature. So simply click the action button. That's my actional on the action button. It enables me to pinpoint ways for me to go back. And it's currently recording my way that I'm going. And whenever I want to go back, I simply click it. It will GPS me back using its feature, compass feature and GPS features. And this is awesome if you are an extreme guy or if you love to come to the mountains, to the wilderness, just like me. This ends up being handy. And it has middle of something happened in the forest, but like I was saying, if you love the wilderness like me, exploring, this is a really cool feature about the Apple Watch Ultra, that it was underrated, and because I was totally forgetting about it in this video, it was not fair not to mention it. So now that I'm here on vacation using it, I need to mention it on this video. Another thing that is also really cool, and I haven't talked about, it's diving. So let's talk about it. This was one of the features that I thought that I was never going to use with the Apple Watch Ultra. But here I am, in the water, using it. And I think that this was one of the smoothest experiences that I've ever had with a completely new feature. I just jumped into the water and it started working. And I think that we don't give enough credit to these features of the Apple Watch Ultra. For those looking for an everyday watch that does everything, like everything, the Apple Watch Ultra ticks all the boxes. It was extremely useful for this dive. I entered the water, it started reading my measurements, started reading the temperature of the water, how much time I was in the water, what was my water depth. No, it was not a professional dive computer. I could have used Oceanic app and get much more features, but for a beginner, just for my first introduction, it was actual magic. And in that regard, I'm so happy that I did the diving experience because it's one of my best experiences in my life. I will definitely have the diving course soon, but using the Apple Watch Ultra, this was a magic experience and it changed my way of thinking about the Apple Watch Ultra. If you haven't noticed, I recorded the video that you are watching right now before my trip. And after this trip, I think I've changed my mind a bit because the Apple Watch Ultra proved me wrong twice, on a volcano and on the sea. And I think with more time, with more extreme activities, I can see more value on the Apple Watch Ultra. Still, I keep my opinion that for most people, this is an extreme watch, it's too expensive, but I see a market for it. I see people that love the wild, love the outdoors, this is the watch for you. So, kind of Apple Watch series advice, if you want to buy an Apple Watch, buy the base model in 95% of cases. Do a list, run down a list, and see all the features, pros and cons about the Apple Watch Ultra, and see which ones make more sense for you. Size and weight, battery. So, battery is the pro, size and weight is the con. Which one do you prefer? You want a big, bulky Apple Watch, but you really care about battery life? I need to weigh those things around. And I think that for most people, I will give you my advice right now, is not worth it. So, don't buy the Apple Watch Ultra unless you need it. This is a fantastic product. I'm not saying it's bad. It's amazing, it's awesome, and it looks kind of good, but I don't think you should buy it. The Apple Watch 11 is the way to go. And trust me, guys, you will thank me later. What about the action button? What about all the hardware features that come with the Apple Watch Ultra that don't come with the Apple Watch Series 11? Seriously, do you want to know what I've done to my action button in the last 3 years since I got the Apple Watch Ultra? Nothing. I've turned it off because this is annoying. It sits on your wrist like this, and whenever you put it like this, if you touch it again against your body, it will accidentally press it and call people or trigger the action that you define. So call people, start a workout, any type of notifications that you don't really want, and any type of action you don't want. So for example, if you have turned a notification here to open up your garage, sorry, it will be open most of the day because this happens continuously throughout the whole day. Sometimes I find myself, if I turn this on, having a walk workout for several hours because I don't notice it and it starts on your wrist accidentally. This action button is not very useful. I understand why it's there for people that do it, lots of sports, lots of workouts, and they don't want to go into display, or they are underwater and they want to start the complication. Makes sense to have that on the Apple Watch Ultra, but at the end of the day, do you really need it? I don't think so. And the crown being embedded on his titanium protection, guys, really, this is like fireworks for you to see, and buy the Apple Watch Ultra. I don't think you should get it. I think it's completely overpriced. I think it's completely oversold because most people don't need it. 95% of people who have it don't need it. I've known people who have it and do need it, and those people are insane. They love to do marathons, triathlons, they do Ironmans, and those people, they do need the Apple Watch Ultra. It's their companion. But either way, they ended up buying a Garmin device, which has better GPS. So in that regard, the Apple Watch Ultra demographic is truly that pretender guy that likes to be insanely fit, but doesn't want to buy a Garmin, so it's not the true nerd. Understand what I'm saying? Like, he's not true pro, but he's a pretender pro. He wants to be pro, so he buys the Apple Watch Ultra, but he's not the pro, because the real pros have the Garmins. I don't know. It's just something that I've observed throughout the years. My experience with the Apple Watch Ultra has been living with it every single day, doing sports, riding the bike, going to the gym, swimming, running, playing sports, football, tennis. I've done everything with the Apple Watch Ultra, and I can guarantee you, it's an amazing Apple Watch. It does everything that it advertises, but it's too big and too expensive for the rest of my life to actually justify it. So if you ask me, I wish that I've spent these $800 that I've paid for this device twice, with the Apple Watch Series 7 and now with the Apple Watch Series 11, for example. I could have bought 2 Apple Watches with this Apple Watch Ultra price, and that stings a bit. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Do you have an Apple Watch Ultra? Have you ever used one? And do you think you are the guy that should buy the Apple Watch Ultra? If you do, congrats, you are fit as hell.